Okay, if you think you want to get into graphic design, but you're not really sure where to start, this is for you. I love collecting design books. And one of the questions I hear a lot is, what should I read if I don't want to go to art school or a full design program? So here's a roundup of 5 books that I would recommend to anyone who's just getting started or wants a really solid foundation or introduction to graphic design. If we're just meeting, I'm Janelle. I've been a freelance graphic designer for 15 years now, and way back in the Stone Age, I went to an art school in New York for graphic design. A big part of any design program at any school are just good foundational books. And it's been one of my favorite things to collect over the years and keep finding new things as they come out. I'm obsessed with finding good resources for people. I just love it. One of the things I truly believe about design is that you don't need to go to a 4-year art school to be a good graphic designer, but you do have to take learning really seriously. So if I were DIYing my own design school in the year of our Lord, 2024, these are some of the first books I would start with to give me the base. Some of these were actually assigned to me as textbooks at Pratt back in the day. And some of these have come out since, and I think they're really solid resources that give a good overview. There are a million more where this came from, and I had a really hard time paring this down. So if you want more recommendations, let me know in the comments, and I will happily do a part 2. All right, let's dive into number 1. Okay, so the first book I would start with is called Graphic Design School. It was written by 3 professors at the London College of Communications, and they really set out to make a book that mirrors a lot of the curriculum in classic design programs. The structure of the book follows a course that you would take in a design fundamentals class or design 101, and they do a really good job of kind of giving you an overview of the basic design principles and then how those get applied to the different areas of graphic design. I think it's a really solid overview if you just want to get a sense of what is this thing and how do I get my head around how to do this well. It's got a ton of visual references of actual projects and real-world examples if you like seeing things very visually, but it's pretty dense. They do a good job of actually breaking down recommendations and techniques and references, and they give you a lot of starting points to kind of go off and do your own research. It's broken up into modules that you could really take apart and treat it like you're taking a class. They give instruction for each thing, and then they give you assignments and kind of homework that if you wanted to, you could really walk through like you were taking a class from a college professor, because you are. It also does a good job of giving an overview of a lot of different elements of design, from design principles to typography and color, but also print layouts and web design and kind of all of the different fields. A lot of the other books that I'm going to recommend are a bit more of a deep dive in one particular thing about design, and this is a really good overview of kind of the lay of the land. At the end of every chapter, it gives you really detailed assignments and things that you can do to take this forward, and they also recommend a lot of books that you could do for the research. So it's a really good way to kind of build your own course from here, focusing in on the areas that you're really interested in. The other thing I love is at the back of the book, it gives a really great breakdown of different paths within design. I think one of the hardest things when you're interested in this field is even knowing what's possible, what kinds of jobs you could do, what niches you could go into, and there are so many different options that I didn't even know were available to me when I went to school for the first time. I love this section because it gives you a breakdown on what it looks like to be a typographer and examples of work, the things you should focus on, and then it gives you recommendations of actual businesses and designers who are doing really well within that specific niche, so you can go check them out. It really points you in a direction if you want to learn more about a specific niche or specific field, which I think is amazing. Lastly, it has this glossary in the back that covers just about every confusing design term you might have heard thrown around. So if you get a little bit glossy-eyed when you hear things like spot colors and baselines and ligatures and it all sounds like gibberish, this is a really great resource to come back to. So I would really recommend starting here. I have the 7th edition, but I think there's at least one more, and if you want to, you can go back a little bit, and they're a little bit cheaper online. So that's a good starting point. Up next is the first entry of one of my favorite distance mentors, whether she knows it or not, from the great Ellen Lupton. Ellen Lupton is a staple in the design community. She has literally written the book and all the books. In fact, a really good learning path would be just reading all of Ellen Lupton's books. She's also been a design professor for many years and has literally shaped the design programs of several famous schools. I just love the way her brain works, I love what she thinks about, and I love the way she explains design. I think she's just a really great resource for anyone who wants to kind of dip their feet into this world in a lot of different contexts. This book especially is pretty special because instead of just being text-based lessons on each of the different concepts, it's chock full of visual examples that show how each thing is done, and then exercises, things that you can do to practice each of these principles. They give really specific breakdowns on how you can take each of these principles and then apply them. Specific exercises that you can do, some that are really simple and some that are a little bit more complex, to make your own homework, essentially. Even if you picked 5 or 10 exercises to play around with from this book, you would have such a good starting point in getting your hands dirty working in design. It's such a good resource. And even now, sometimes when I'm feeling a little bit stuck and I just want to play, I'll just flip through, find a cool exercise, and give it a go, or use that as a starting point for a project just to see what I can come up with. I feel like it's a really good sort of evergreen resource to keep your brain sharp when you're feeling a little bit fuzzy. Okay, so continuing on the Ellen Lupton train, this book is really sentimental to me because it's the first book I ever read about graphic design. The first edition came out in 2004, right when I was excited about design, starting to apply to schools, and dreaming about what it would look like to be a graphic designer. Okay, this is a little embarrassing, but at the time she was teaching at MICA, which is the Maryland College of Art, and I came this close to going there specifically because I wanted to take her classes. I settled on reading every book of hers instead, but I think that proves how highly I think about her. A lot of books about typography can feel a little daunting. The classic textbook in every Type 101 class is Elements of Typographic Style by Robert Bringhurst, which is amazing, but it is, dense. I highly recommend it if you want to build up your library of good, solid foundational textbooks, but wow, is that a commitment. The magic that Ellen Lupton was able to do is take all of that wonderful theory and good, solid knowledge of typographic style and put it into a format that's engaging and accessible and easy to understand. The book itself is just beautiful. It's engaging, it's easy to read if you're not a huge textbook person. It's a really good overview of the entire subject, but it's densely packed with information. She starts with the history of design, breaks down the anatomy of different typefaces so you can learn about form and structure and just the names of things, and really gets into spacing and grids and alignment structures and hierarchy and structure and scripts and all of the stuff that just fits into your brain and gives you a really good, solid knowledge of how to use typography well moving forward as a graphic designer. And I feel like if there's one skill set that every designer needs to be really good in, it's typography. And this is just a great place to start. The next entry I love because it's just a really fun format for learning solid design principles. Graphic Design Rules was written by 4 designers that are pretty well known in the industry. One of them used to be president of the AIGA, for example. What I love about it is instead of having a classic textbook structure, it's set up as a structure of do and don't rules, with literally red and green lights on them, that break down good rules to follow within the different elements of design. Some of them are silly, like the first one, which is don't use Comic Sans, but a lot of them go into some pretty good detail on concepts and also industry standards and practices that are just good best practices across the board. I think this is a really good reference because often when you're DIYing your own schooling, the biggest block is just imposter syndrome. Fear of maybe there's a right way to do something and I don't know what that is. I'm going to look stupid. I'm going to do it wrong. I'm going to offer something to a client and they're going to be mad that I didn't do it correctly or whatever. And this gives really good context for solid best practices that just help you have that good structure to feel a little bit more confident that you're going about things professionally and handling them in the right way. Some things are a little bit more broad and have room for interpretation, and some are really specific and give you just good nuggets to walk away with. So I think it's really solid reading. I had a hard time picking my last book because there's so many other places I could take this, but I decided that if there's one solid foundation skill that I think art school does a good job of preparing you for that is a little bit harder to get on your own, it's understanding typography in general and specifically grid systems. I don't know about you, but when I was just learning this stuff, the idea of grid systems felt really overwhelming. It felt mathy and cumbersome and complicated, and I just wanted to make things pretty, and I didn't understand there was going to be so much math involved. It felt like this thing that was designed for a certain kind of brain, and there were rules, and if you didn't understand them, people were going to judge you for it, or something. And again, if you're making your own program, this is the kind of stuff that I feel like is the biggest gap that makes you feel the most sort of exposed or amateur. So level up. And a great place to do that is with the classic grid systems. This has been a required textbook in every design program that I know of since I've known about them. I think the first edition was in the early 80s, and it is somewhat intimidatingly printed in both English and German all the way through the book. But if you can look past the scary German, it's large format, it's beautifully laid out, it's got a lot of visuals, it's pretty easy to follow. And he does a really great job of explaining one of the more complicated concepts in design. He gives overviews of how and why grids work, and then gives really specific instructions and layouts for different styles of grids that you can apply to your own work, and shows a lot of examples of what it looks like when you use different layouts and how to use them well. It actually is way less intimidating when you dive into it, and having that sense of knowledge that you can just tuck away and say, yes, I do understand how this works, and I can apply this to my own work moving forward, just gives you that level of settled confidence that you are a professional, you are continuing to learn, you have good foundation knowledge, and you can move forward. So I would really recommend this as a starting point for any person who really wants to dive in to being a design professional. It's a great resource. So there you go, 5 solid starting points to get you going. I would love to do more, so let me know if you want to see a part 2. And if you want to know how I would start as a designer in 2024, watch this video where I break down how I would get started. See you there.